together we would like to show you today, by example, how we use system thinking to enable to see the whole system and pushed us to change the way we work. And for the start, few words about the product. Who among you knew Eco or use Eco? Raise your hand. Yeah, okay. We're glad that we have the opportunity to deliver this product also to you. So Eco is the largest Polish bank's mobile app. It's been at the market for 10 years. We have 7.6 million of active users. Each day we have 8 million sessions and 2.5 million transactions. We have 15 teams, more than 200 people that is working on Eco every day. So how our journey began? At the end of 2022, we noticed that for 2023, we have pretty high demand of by our organization to deliver 300 new initiatives, new functions. Our organization has its own need for speed, and Eco was the most wanted to deliver the value. So we knew that we had to speed up. Okay, so what did we do at the beginning? We used transparency. We gather data and show it. So we wanted that the decisions were made not because of the assumptions or feelings, but by the data. So first of all, we measure our lead time, which we define from the ideals creation to releasing on production. This is widely across agreeing definition. And we also measure cycle time from start of development to delivering on production. We were aware that we had this gap and we want to measure it. As you can see, we have 8 months lead time approximately and almost 5 months cycle time, not so fast. So we also checked number of released feature, number of releases and frequency of deployment. As you can see, in 2022, we deliver about 70 features, and our deployment, the forecast of deployment was hard because sometimes our clients have to wait 2 months for the new version. We also checked how many things is on development at the same time. I know how it looks. I know how it looks. You don't need any sophisticated tools. Sometimes Excel is just fine. So at the columns you can see a timeline. At the rows you can see functions. The colors mean different teams that were developing the function. So when you pick up one of the column, you can see that many times we have 20 or even 30 features developed in the same time. So we knew that it has impact on the lead time. So thanks to this, we knew that something has to change. So we ask ourselves a question: what is the most important thing to do? Most important thing to focus on? We knew our role. We knew that our role is to deliver value for our customers and to satisfy our organization. We conducted a little workshops with our leader, director of the Digital Channels Bureau, and we agreed that the most important thing, that our optimization goal is to decreasing lead time. And we didn't mean by this to faster deliver low value functions. We want to decrease lead time without decreasing value for over 7 million of our clients. And the most important, we started to communicating this goal across the whole division.
So what next? We had the data, we had the goal, but we had no idea where to begin. So we started asking questions. What has the most impact on our goal? What should we improve first? Where should be our focus? Or who should be involved in this change? And at the beginning, we had no idea. We didn't know the answers. That's why we wanted to draw a big picture of our system to understand it better. And we didn't know how to make it. So with the help came a concept I got familiar a few months before, concept of system thinking. And now I'm going to introduce you how it's work on a simple example. So every system has some variables. As you can see, number of features delivered per cycle or number of defects. An element can affect or can apply on another element. We call it causal links. It's the relation. So if number of features delivered per cycle goes up, then the number of defects goes up. The more we code, the more defects we have. And it's common belief in our industry that number of developers will increase our feature velocity. But as in any company, we have the same constraint, money. We cannot hire as many developers as we want to. So, but we still have the same problem. Our company pressures us to do more and more, faster and faster to meet deadlines. So the pressure to go faster enters to go on the stage. And because we still believe that the increasing number of developers will increase our velocity, and we cannot afford to employ the best developers on the market because we have no time for long and expensive recruitation. So we decide to increase higher rate of our developers, but we hire those who are affordable, who are now on the market. So now we have the pretty same relation. If we raise the hire of developers, we raise the number of developers on board. And here, for many companies, process ends. But as system thinkers, we seek for another variables. We see, how about code quality? And we know that in a long distance, if we hire unskilled developers, we will have the opposite effect on code quality. That's why we have O on this above the arrow. And of course, going further, if our code quality drops down, then the number of defects will rise. And what's more, if number of defects will go up, then we probably will slow down. And of course, for many of you, it's obvious relation. But this is only the example that shows us how system thinking make us understand the big picture of our system. So now we have the big picture of our system, and we can draw another conclusions. So how we started our journey? Many of you, many teams, struggle to make a change because they work on a team level. They are not empowered to make a change, to make tough decisions. That's why we wanted to change it. We invited directors, we invited product owners, we invited line managers and team leaders. And then we started with an empty board. We placed those variables on the board. The round one in the middle is our goal, and asked them to connect the whole, how those parts are interconnected with each other. And of course, every system is incomplete by definition, so anyone could add any new variable to our system and make another connection. After first session, we end up with this picture. As you can see, we added much more variables, we discovered new connections, but what's more, we built shared understanding about the complexity of our system we operate in.
Okay. We have our system sketched out, and what's next? We ask our workshop participants to choose a variable that they want to make an effort to make a change on our system. And we started to experiment to change this system. To do this, we use two test cards from Strategizer. It's a simple tool. There's a hypothesis. We believe that to verify that we will do something and measure it with. If the hypothesis is true, we receive some results. One of the first experiments was about decreasing the number of concurrently developed things in the same time. We were sure that the hypothesis would that it will decrease lead time. So we will choose. That was the assumptions. We will choose one or two teams when we can implement work in progress limit of 2, and we will see if it will decrease lead time, and we will compare to other teams that have similar sized feature. This is one of the free. We started with 3 experiments. Because we are old-fashioned dinosaurs, so we use whiteboard and sticky notes. We invite all these people every 2 weeks to a on-site workshop to work on our goal, to work on our system. We realize, we see that face-to-face communication is more viable, has more value. So during this month, we invite more people that has impact on the systems. We add more variables. We created additional experiments, such as splitting big team into 2 teams and checking out how the smaller team will organize. We use these workshops also to discuss technological roadmap, because technological things also have a deep impact on lead time.
And 7 months later, we are here and sharing our story with you. And we end up with the picture like this. So as you can see, there are many new variables, many connections, but also many ongoing experiments. And what we achieved, we built a motivation to work with this on a weekly level. So as Maciek said, now we have meetings once a week to think what we can change in our system, what we can improve. Those blue ones are our ongoing experiments. What else we achieved? As I said, 11 ongoing experiments, 4 or 5 are already done. We got some conclusions. But what's more, we decreased our lead time by 27%. So now we're going faster. But what is more important, now, because of using this data, this system thinking, we have full ownership and cooperation between business and IT. We work in a big corporation, so it's not obvious. Now we are thinking about global optimization over local one. We are focusing on the global level. We focus on our goal on daily basis because we communicated it across the whole company, across the whole division. Now every team knows that decreasing lead time is our first priority. And what's more, we still keep, after 7 months, keep high motivation to change and make improvements. We are not tired of improving ourselves. And we know that our road didn't end. we are still on the road. And we know that many companies are much better when it comes to lead time, according to us. But we know they are not better because they have smarter or better people on board. They are better because they started their journey earlier than we did. So now we are on the path of improvements, and we know that there is no way back. So what are the conclusions of this story? We encourage you to gather data to start talking about right things. Create a system optimization goal to have a focus. Invite the right people who can make tough decisions and change. We know that many digital transformations struggle because they don't have work on a global level and don't invite right people. They work on a team level only. Use system thinking to see the whole and plan the experiments. Remember that the outcome of these sessions is shared understanding, model to have a conversation. Now those people who are involved understand for what we want to achieve. And when you need to scale, start from removing the global impediments, not the only local ones on a team level. So you can also use this model as your map for your complex environment to plan better experiments.
For those of you who were listening carefully, I'm sure you noticed that we didn't use across the whole presentation any word of Scrum or Agile, and it's purposely. We were able to achieve all of this without using these words because we know that in our industry, many people get sick of it. There are places that there are just buzzwords. So forget about using these words. Instead of this, we encourage you to start using data as we heard earlier, and start using system thinking to design an organization to build a foundation where great products can thrive. We hope that you will use it in your organization and make a better place to work. Good luck and thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so we have some interesting questions. Some of you have noticed that URL, which now disappeared from the screen, but it was down there in the left corner, AgileByExample.com/ask. And I have a couple of questions which I like, so we'll do two, if you permit me.
Okay.
If you have 11 ongoing experiments, how do you know which one actually results in contributing to the needed impact? And I would add from me, and how do you know how they interact with one another?
To be honest, we have no idea. Because it's a global scale, we hope that some of them interact with our system. But for example, one of them was changing our communication tool because we use Microsoft Teams, but on a chat level, and we wanted to make it Teams, and because we thought that if you make better communication, more
knowledge sharing.
More focused, the teams will be communicated better, and we failed it. All teams said that we actually limited their communication. They don't communicate in the manner they used to do before. So now we know that we allowed them to go back to old school chats.
Okay, and another one which is also interesting is, and it arrived early on, you invited many managers to design a new system. Wouldn't that be more beneficial to have developers and others working directly with the system on board as well?
Yeah, great question. Yes, we were working at the developers level in the teams, and we had this the end of opportunities to change the system. We have to invite those managers. Remember, in the workshops there also were senior developers. We also invite developers, backend developers, frontend developers to that they can give their opinion about the system. So we use their knowledge to change the system also, but we use the managers because they are empowered to change the system, and this was the main reason that we need them to do this.
But the fact is, we started with managers and the leaders from those teams, but then when we discovered more interesting topics, we invited developers as well.
And they added new variables.
Yeah, so now we inviting the right people to make the right decision. It depends on our agenda.
Okay. So thank you for those answers. Unfortunately, we don't have much more time for questions, but you can talk to the guys in the lobby during the breaks. So I very much invite you to do that and ask those few questions that remained. Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.